2:20 left in the half. Another red zone misfire for the Cowboys. Third interception against Aikman from 35. Rodney Thomas gets a couple of yards. Well, Darrell Lewis with 2. And Marcus Robertson with 1 interception.
Michael Irvin at the top. He's going to run in a slant. Here's Darrell Lewis. He's playing inside. Watch Michael Irvin. He knows he's inside. Good job. He reads it. He's sitting down. Troy Aikman, when he pulls the ball back down, doesn't do the right adjustment. Throws it for the interception of Darrell Lewis.
Aikman, regarded as one of the most accurate of all NFL passers, have been picked off only 6 times all year. 3 in the first half today. The 2-minute warnings. Darrell Lewis was matched last year's totals, 5 interceptions and a touchdown return. 2 today. Eddie George pulled from behind by Antonio Anderson, the rookie from Syracuse. Now Michael Irvin during our last break showing a grimace face and disappointment as the Cowboys appear to be driving for a possible touchdown to narrow the lead to 3. Just over some.
And I'm sure he's going to look over that last play because Michael Irvin did a good job reading the defense on that interception the last one that Troy Aikman threw. Troy Aikman read it right, but when he had to pull the ball down, sometimes you lose what you're thinking of when you got to readjust as a quarterback. Troy led him too far inside.
There you see Darrell Johnston, such an integral part of the Cowboy offense last several years, drafted right behind Aikman. He's had his neck surgery. They've been together since 1989 when Aikman was #1 and Johnston #2 and the big blocker, and they've missed his spirit and his talent. McNair on the blitz, steps up nicely and throws it incomplete. Derek Russell was well guarded by 2 Cowboys.
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you, old Dexter Coakley almost got himself an interception for a touchdown.
Dexter Coakley, for a couple of reasons, he's inside today on 3rd down. One, to spy Steve McNair, and now when there's nobody to cover, he reads the quarterback, and
that ball was on target. He's got 6.
Kevin Mathis back as Reggie Roby to punt for the 3rd time. Cowboys used 1 timeout in that sequence. They have 2 remaining with 1:52 left in the half. So plenty of time for Aikman to try to cut into that 10-point Oiler lead. Very high again toward the sidelines and doesn't give Mathis a chance. So to the sidelines against Mathis, but he hit it straight away for Deion Sanders, to the dismay of Sanders, because he had his rib broken on the return.
Well, Reggie doesn't know who's out there.
He does.
30 yards on the punt.
Look at Reggie. Reggie looking like, isn't that Deion? I thought that was Deion.
So Dallas gets it at the 31. Cowboys, who this year are 6-6, have not won more than 2 in a row. And Troy Aikman just couldn't believe that as he went through the season. He said it.
Well, that's the reason why I said, can you win 4 games in a row? And he goes, well, we've only won 2 in a row. It's the best we've done all year long. So this Cowboy team, they make every game close. To think you can win 4 close games in a row would be a hard thing to do in this league.
Brings it out of the backfield. Actually, it's the tight end, George, and he fumbles the ball. Picked up by the Oilers. Marcus Robertson. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, my.
Well, Jim Fisher, Dick Woolley, Paul, you were right. The last thing he said to us,
we're going to hit him.
We're going to hit. It's going to be physical on both sides. That's what they're doing. They're showing some enthusiasm, some hustle, and that's led to some good breaks for them. It led to the touchdown on this play.
I'll tell you what, this defense is really hustling. This defense has got them 17. They had them 17-7, and now almost will be 24-7. Look at the hits here. These guys are just pounding people.
Bishop and Lewis applied the tackle, and Robertson with a 42-yard touchdown.
Blaine Bishop, always noted around the league for many years. Big hitter. When you see him, you can't he's not a big guy, but he runs around full speed, gets in good positions, delivers a hit.
He said he learned a tackle like that from a fellow alum of Ball State, David Letterman, showed up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, there's flags on play. You know what Bishop did, though? He came in yesterday. He wants to be a general manager in the National Football League. But he comes into us, and when I look at him, glasses, little guy. He says, don't tell people how small I am. There he is there. He says, don't tell people how short I am.
5 yards.
Because I play much bigger.
On the 7-yard line.
Boy, does he ever.
He was an 8th-round pick 4 years ago. Played his high school ball in Indianapolis and has become a Pro Bowler last 2 years. So Jeff Fisher's young, aggressive, and you just had a sense, Phil, you talked about it when we met with him yesterday. They couldn't wait for the kickoff today.
Dick, like we said, the short week didn't bother them. They didn't care. He's got a team, he says, you know they're young when they say they love to practice.
Well,
and it didn't bother them. They were so excited about coming here, playing on national TV, and have a chance to compete against the Cowboys.
Del Greco, after the 5-yard Oilers penalty, makes the extra point. And 3 interceptions and a fumble return for a touchdown. The Oilers story. Up at one of the greats all time, Roger Staubach, part of the Cowboys lore. And Marcus Robertson has given the Oilers a 24-7 lead. He had a fumble return for a touchdown last week against the Buffalo Bills.
Well, you know, Phil was talking about the hustling defense. 31 of these guys on this team, on this Tennessee team, have 3 years experience or less. I mean, that is a young football team.
Del Greco, they kick it off, a minute and a half remaining, so the Cowboys will have a chance as Walker takes it on the run at the 17. Herschel Walker, tackled by Rodney Thomas.
Well, this is a combination of a whole bunch of people. Look at Bishop. Look at Lewis, 29, coming in. Here's Bishop hitting. Then watch this hit here. Here's the one that pops it out. Lewis getting his shoulder in there. Robertson picks it up, and it's touchdown. I mean, that's just team defense. Boom, boom, boom. 3 guys, and then just let the other defensive back pick it up and win for a touchdown. That's beautiful.
So from the 46, Troy Aikman finds his team down 24-7. A minute 25 left in the half. 2 timeouts left for the Cowboys. Underneath, Emmett Smith. No, it's Sherman Williams, and he showed the first down at the 45. Williams seeing his first duty today, the 3rd-year running back from Alabama. Hurry up, as it's a 2nd down and 1.
Plenty of time. 2 timeouts left. If they give you the short pass, take it.
There it is. And to Williams in the flat. And he was about to make contact with quarterback Bernard Walker racing up. Well, the Oilers, who had a slow start, and 1-4 in the first 5 games, -8 in the turnover. And almost every coach will tell you this is the one stat that correlates to winning and losing most strongly. Turnover ratio, and it's shown there, +11. They've won 5 of their last 7.
But the thing is, your team has got to be in good position. You got to be running the football. You got to be ahead to create those turnovers, create those situations for your team to give your defense a chance to make those turnovers.
Batted down at the line of scrimmage, I believe. Either Kenny Holmes or Gary Walker got it.
Kenny Holmes.
Kenny Holmes. You know, it's amazing when you give a guy a chance to play. Now, these people are booing a little bit, and I'll tell you what, the Cowboys are going to punt the football away.
Wow.
You can't afford to get, well, the Oilers have 2 timeouts at 55 seconds. You don't want to give them another shot. You're 17 down now.
But that's a concession on 4th and 1.
Well, it's 3rd and 1. You got 2 timeouts. I'm shocked the Cowboys didn't run the ball, pick up the first down, keep the drive going. They take a chance throwing it. They give away a sure field goal attempt in this situation.
So going to punt.
Oh.
Derek Mason gives ground and is caught by Billy Davis at the 5-yard line. 47 seconds left in the half, 40-yard punt. So some of the folks are going to have a little indigestion either before or after the turkey dinner today. Not happy at all with a 24-7. And for the folks watching down at Houston and still root for these Oilers, even though they've left town, they know best of all what it's been like to be in the same state with the Dallas Cowboys. Texas is a Cowboy state. Well, you Oiler fans, but boy, you got to fight your way.
It's tough to be in the league because so many people are, no matter where you go. Cowboys, when we used to play them at Giant Stadium, would have a tremendous amount of fans there. So you can imagine what it would be like to play in Houston in the same state as his team.
You know, the thing about this game, too, Dick, is when you started right at the beginning of this game, they had 4 games to play, these 2 teams, and they have to win them all in order to even think about being in the playoffs.
They need to go 10-6. Both coaches and players talked about that. McNair protecting the ball. Eddie George plows forward for about 6 yards. Chad Hennings made the tackle, and at halftime, hope you'll stay with us. Reba McEntire will be here. We'll also have our Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report with Greg Gumbel and company. All the highlights from the Bears-Lions game for you. And Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, and Herschel Walker, along with country star Reba McEntire, live premiering the song What If, in tribute to the Salvation Army here from Texas Stadium.
Reba, now, we know she can really sing. She's beautiful. She is beautiful.
You're
on the other hand, are not beautiful. What?
You're partial to those redheads.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'm redhead. I know that. Well, there's some sad faces on that Dallas side, I'll tell you. We just had a shot a moment ago of Anthony Miller just looking out. And these guys are trying to figure out what can we do. I mean, defensively, they're doing very well. Offensively, they're not doing a thing.
This is a team that used to come out and winning was kind of easy for them. Now to win, they got to fight and claw and do all the little things right. Things they didn't have to do in the past. They can make mistakes and overcome them. This team has shown they have a hard time doing that now.
McNair with a kneel down, and the Cowboys will not call time. And you don't hear this very often at Texas Stadium. Boos sending the Cowboys to the locker room. Fumble recovery for a touchdown. 3 interceptions. 2 of those lead to touchdowns. And the Tennessee Oilers, at the intermission, lead the Dallas Cowboys 24-7. Thanksgiving Day thus far belonging to the men from Tennessee. Stay tuned now for the Domino's Pizza halftime report. Coming up after these messages from your local station. Director John Gonzalez, producer Tommy Roy, happy Thanksgiving. Vincent Smith, he bandaged up as well on the return blocking unit for Dallas. Backup linebacker as Del Greco sends it toward the end zone, and Herschel Walker at the 1. To the 20, and gathers a sea of powder blue and out of bounds at the 22-yard line as we look at the Coors Light halftime statistics. And the numbers not very impressive except for the turnovers and points off turnovers. Dallas turning it over 4 times, 3 interceptions and a fumble. And that leading to 21 Oiler points. Only 7 first downs Tennessee, 6 for Dallas.
Well, when you look at it, what it tells you is that Dallas's defense is doing a pretty good job. Offensively, they're just giving points up.
Well, the rhythm of the game may have been decided a half hour before the kickoff when Aikman went to the locker room in pain with that back injury and started slowly. 2 early interceptions. Emmett Smith with about 5. Smith with only 15 yards in the first half. Jim?
Well, Dick, a very candid conversation with Barry Switzer at halftime. He said, quote, "This is an absolute joke. It's a disgraceful performance to play football like this with all of these turnovers. Happy Thanksgiving, Tennessee. Instead of giving you a turkey on a silver platter, we're giving you away a game." Dick?
Wow.
Whoa!
He's got 30 minutes to try to at least get a drumstick.
Well, I understand what he said. I mean, you should be desperate today. The Cowboys have not acted like a desperate football team. That's got to be really disappointing to a coach when you know you have to win 4 in a row, and you come out here and you just don't even show the enthusiasm to try to win.
But we noted that in visiting with the Cowboys, including Switzer himself. First thing I wrote on my notepad when he started to talk was dazed, down, and disappointed.
I noticed it the whole time watching practice. They were going through the motions. You know, there was just no life in the whole complex. Everybody was down. Coaches and, you know, this is a team so used to success, and 6-6, they feel like it's a tremendous failure.
Bjornsson was 5 yards offside, and so that play called back.
The other thing, too, is when we talked to Aikman yesterday, and Troy came in, and he said to us, you know, you're 6-6.
Ball start on the offense, number 86, 5 yards, 3rd down.
You're 6-6, you know, he said, look at the red zone area, and that's a scoring zone area. You're going to see Bjornsson going offside here. But he said, you know, when you're 6-6, you can't make mistakes. On 1st and 2nd down the red zone, we can't do anything. We got 3rd and long. We can't do anything with it. He said we have so many penalties. 6-6 teams just cannot overcome this.
Cowboys, some big bites taken out of their personnel with free agency. Mark Stepnowski, an all-pro center, now playing with the Oilers. One of those. 3rd and 12. Bjornsson tackled at the 30, 3 yards shy of the first down, and on comes the kicking team for the Cowboys. Blaine Bishop, another tackle.
Man, this Oilers secondary, the one thing they will do, and it's always been a trademark wherever Jeff Fisher has coached, the secondary are always good tacklers.
Yeah, but he also said, my whole team's going to hit you, and they're doing it.
Goins' 4th punt. Derek Mason back at the 20-yard line. That's not what the Cowboys wanted. 3 and out. The penalty figuring in. Going. Spirals down to the 27. Very close was Mason to moving into the clear. Brought down at the 36-yard line on a 43-yard punt.
On December 9th, you buy Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Miller Lite, now official beer sponsor of the NFL. By Cotton Incorporated. Cotton, the fabric of our lives. And by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more.
Oilers, first possession, second half. Steve McNair. Here, McNair, but his mother still calls him Monk. Fascination with tree climbing as a young man. Gives to Eddie George. George is stripping away tacklers as he's had throughout. Instead of a 1-yard gain, he gets 4.
No surprise when you look at Steve McNair. Look at this. Out of the pocket, that's where he's strong. It's 4 for 4. In the pocket, something Jeff Fisher says we really got to work on. Definitely the weak spot of our offense. 2 of 7 for 7 yards. I would not let him drop back too many times in the second half. As long as I got a lead, because a couple of times he came close to making big mistakes.
And very fearful for the defense is his scrambling talent. 492 yards rushing this year, by far the best running quarterback in the league. George picking a hole. There is none. Gains a yard to the 41. Chad Hennings makes the tackle. McNair 6 for 11 at the half. 5 rushes for 3 yards, and Aikman really warmed up in that second quarter. All but 8 of those yards. 156 coming in the second period. But the 3 interceptions and then a fumble off a reception that led to a touchdown. 3rd and 4. Earlier today, the Lions beat the Bears 55-20 to go 7-6. Keep their hopes for a playoff alive. McNair gets away from 2 Cowboys and now throws downfield. Almost intercepted in the hands of Kevin Mathis. Couldn't pull it in.
There's another one of those situations, Phil, that you were just alluding to, the fact that McNair in the pocket. If he's moving, he's so much more effective. That time he's in the pocket. Of course, the pass blocking broke down.
Paulie makes the big mistakes. He throws a hope shot down to the sideline. Mathis right to him. Doesn't make the interception.
That would have been his first NFL interception on Thanksgiving Day, not to be. Mathis now moves back to return Roby's punt. Oh, he kicks him high. Not this one. This more of a driving spiral. Mathis at the 9. Juggles the ball and falls on it at the 7. Almost bounced that to the Oilers for another big turnover. Spencer George right there for Tennessee.
Well, you know, the thing about it is these guys are running down. Spencer George, these guys are coming down. Someone's got to tell him that ball hits him in the head. What he does is he takes his eyes off the ball, hits him in the helmet. Somebody should tell him a fair catch.
Fortunate to have the ball after the Mathis bobble on the punt, and on his own end zone into the flat. Emmett Smith. Good move by the veteran from Florida and close to a first down. Joe Bowden with a vicious tackle.
Let's go back to the punt with Mathis. Remember in the first half when he got drilled on the punt. Watch his eyes. He's going to take his eyes off the ball. His ball hits him in the head, and he is really lucky to get this thing back.
Tough day for him. In fact, tough 2 plays. He just missed an easy interception and then goes back and almost fumbles it away. Free agent rookie, but making this Cowboy squad. 2nd and 1. First down across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Troy Aikman in the first half, he starts out, his back's tight, has a hard time moving around. You can see he threw quite a few balls to the right, very few to the left. When he did, he had a couple interceptions. And early, if your back is hurting, by far the toughest place to throw the football would be across your body to the left for a quarterback.
Here comes Sherman Williams, and Emmitt Smith slow getting up. We told you Bowden put a mean hit on Smith, and this young aggressive defense of the Oilers punishing Dallas today. 22 yards to match his number for Emmitt rushing this afternoon.
I think Nate Newton said it best about this Oiler defense. He says, man, they just run around and just hit people and make plays. Hard to block them up front. Hard to see what happened.
So they attend to the all-pro running back Emmitt Smith. We'll take a break. 10:43 left in the third.